All right. Good evening, good morning, good whatever time it is when you're staring at your rent notice like it's a cease and desist letter from reality itself. This is Shockwave Radio, where we don't whisper sweet nothings. We yell uncomfortable truths into the wind and hope the wind files a complaint. Now listen to me. How in the name of every broken down studio apartment in this state do we still have people acting shocked about homelessness when rent is climbing like it's training for the Olympics? You walk into a city and it's like, welcome to paradise. $2,500 for a shoebox, utilities not included, emotional stability sold separately. And everybody wants to argue about why people are on the street. Oh, it's mental health.
Oh, it's addiction.
Oh, it's policy failure.
Yeah.
Newsflash, it's also $3,000 for a one-bedroom with a view of a brick wall and a shared bathroom that screams at night. Now, I'm not saying there aren't complex causes, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying this. When the cost of existing indoors starts looking like a luxury subscription service, you're gonna get people opting out of the subscription. And let's talk about the middle layer nobody wants to touch with a 10-foot eviction notice. Property managers and rental pricing systems. Now I can already hear it. Johnny, don't generalize. Oh, I'm not generalizing. I'm observing the same listing get reposted for 600 more every time it bounces like it's got stock options. You ever notice how the rent never goes down?
Oh, it adjusts upward with market demand.
Funny how the market only demands upward, never downward, never sideways, never.
Maybe let's not charge a small fortune for drywall and vibes.
And look, I'm not saying every property manager is sitting in a dark room petting a cat like a cartoon villain saying,
raise it again.
But I am saying there's a system where maximizing rent is the default setting and affordability is treated like a bug, not a feature. Meanwhile, on the street, real people are dealing with real consequences, not policy memos, not earnings reports, not market adjustments, just life. And every time the conversation comes up, it turns into this giant political tug of war where nobody actually wants to grab the rope that matters.
Supply, cost, and who gets priced out when the math stops mathing.
And don't even get me started on the solutions panel shows where everyone sits around a table nodding like they just discovered housing is important. Oh wow, groundbreaking. Next, you're gonna tell me water is wet and rent is due on the 1st. Here's the brutal truth nobody puts on a campaign poster. You don't fix homelessness without confronting housing cost, and you don't fix housing cost while pretending it's normal for wages to crawl while rent sprints like it's late for something. But hey, what do I know? I'm just Johnny Wave on. Broadcasting live from the wreckage of affordable housing like it's a historical concept we read about in textbooks next to dial-up internet and affordable groceries. Stick around, coming up next.
Why your studio apartment has the same rent as a used car payment and still doesn't include parking, peace, or personality.
Stay loud. Welcome back. Johnny Wave here, still standing, still loud, still mildly shocked. I haven't been priced out of my own radio studio yet. Now in segment 1, we talked about rent climbing like it's training for a vertical marathon and homelessness being the bill nobody wants to explain at the dinner table. But now let's zoom in a little closer, right into the gears of the machine. Because folks keep talking like housing costs just like rain, like gravity. Like you wake up and suddenly your rent is $900 higher and everyone shrugs like, yep, must have been atmospheric pressure. No, that's not weather. That's pricing structure with ambition. Now I know the word greed gets thrown around like a dodgeball in middle school gym class. Everyone's screaming, nobody catching, but let's talk about incentives instead, since that sounds nicer and makes economists feel safe. If the system rewards charging more, what do you think happens? Exactly, it charges more. Now imagine you're a renter, you're just trying to live your life. You don't want a mansion, you don't want a rooftop pool. You just want 4 walls that don't leak mystery liquids when it rains. But the market says,
oh, you want shelter?
That'll be 65% of your income, plus fees. Plus, we noticed you breathed inside the unit surcharge.
And then people wonder why folks are doubled up, couch surfing, or just straight up disappearing into the cracks of the system, like a dropped coin behind the vending machine of society. Now let's talk about the part nobody wants to say out loud at a family barbecue. When rent gets high enough, stability becomes a luxury product. Not housing, not shelter, stability. And once stability becomes luxury tier, everything downstream starts wobbling. Jobs, health, mental well-being. Entire communities just trying to hold it together with duct tape and optimism. But here's where it gets real spicy. Because every time someone brings this up, you get the same response.
Well, if people just worked harder.
Oh yeah? Worked harder where? At the job that already can't afford the apartment next to the job. Should they pick up overtime at the survive until payday factory? Maybe moonlight at 2 jobs and still broke LLC. And look, I'm not here pretending there's one villain in a cartoon cape twirling a mustache made of lease agreements. It's a whole ecosystem, a whole structure, a whole stack of decisions layered over decades like a Jenga tower built by someone who hates balance. But I am saying this. When the price of entry keeps rising faster than the ability to pay, you don't get a moral failure, you get a mathematical outcome. And that outcome, you can see it outside every major city, every freeway exit, every underpass where society quietly goes. Let's just pretend this is temporary. But it's not temporary if the inputs don't change. And I know, somewhere out there someone is yelling at their radio right now.
Johnny, what's the solution?
Relax, we're getting there. But first, you've got to admit the system isn't just broken. It's doing exactly what it's incentivized to do. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Nobody wants to sit with too long. Because once you do, you realize fixing it isn't about slogans. It's about structure. Stay tuned. Next up on Shockwave Radio. Why every affordable housing plan sounds amazing right up until it meets a zoning board and disappears like it owed money. Don't touch that dial. You might learn something you can't unhear.